of our homeschooling program is teaching and training our children how to thorough clean their space. And we do this once every month. Education should be holistic, and that's why we felt that this needs to be part of our homeschooling schedule, at least for this season. In today's video, I'm sharing with you 10 tips that would help you to teach and train your children a chore or a skill. And because it's important to be practical, because skills are more caught than taught, I am sharing with you our practical process of how we do that as well. Please join me as we do this, and I pray that this will be a blessing. Welcome to Formations of a Noble Woman. This is a channel where we share matters womanhood and the woman, seeking the mind of God concerning the same, so that you and I can align ourselves to His will and purpose. If you're new here, consider subscribing and just hit that notification bell so that you will be notified every time I upload new content. I am thankful that I have had the privilege of learning some skills and some parenting tips and just reading through the word and getting to learn a lot more. And I feel that just the way I have benefited, it would be wonderful for me to share some of these things I am learning. So some of the things I'm doing today seem obvious, but I felt that you can learn a thing or two and also share with me something that I can learn as well, even as I share this video. And of course, you can do this in the comments. Before we go into this process of just sharing what we do in our home in training our children, we want to pray and just trust the Lord to make this process a blessing and a joy and a delight for you and for me as well. Father, please be with us. Just grant us your fruitfulness through this process as we seek to raise our children up a godly offspring. I pray that you will be glorified as you minister to me and to the viewer as well. Thank you so much that you're with us. In Jesus' name, amen. Before we get into the video, let me share a small piece of useful information. Do you have questions on biblical womanhood, on discipleship, on parenting, on homeschooling, on the home, and such related topics? I am taking the time to answer some of the questions we have been asked on these topics. I am doing this on the YouTube Shorts, so kindly check out our YouTube Shorts. Back to the video. I begin the process of teaching these little girls how to clean the bathroom. Yeah, I thought this is a necessary part of the training because sometimes we assume they know what to do. When I tell them, go clean the bathroom, we assume they should know. But I know with training, you don't do it once, you don't do it twice, you keep doing it until they get it. So this is a year we are going to be doing this once every month, thorough clean, and then I allow them to do it themselves week after week, as you saw on our a day in our life video that I will link below. So for now, let's begin. Now girls, we will begin with removing everything, all the pictures you have put on the wall, all this. We are going to get it outside of the bathroom, yes, so that we can have it clear and we start. So let's do that.
Right.
So we got everything out except the things you might need to clean and wash. So girls, where do we start when cleaning the bathroom?
The walls?
Yes, so you can see you need to keep repeating the lesson. We always start from up, down. So we start with removing the cobwebs, okay? We're improvising there with a mop, but getting to clean all the surfaces, the cobwebs and all the surfaces above. But let's get to our first tip. Please pray. I didn't show us doing this, but I always like my children to know that it's the Lord who enables us and gives us the strength to do what we are doing. So begin with prayer. Now we get to the next step, which basically is soaking up the surfaces. Vianzi, just pour some water here, we forgot to remove this.
Wow.
Just wet it so that any soap particles can soften up by the time we get back here later on. Yeah, so that also means we will flush the toilet. There's a problem with our flush, so we are going to manually do that while waiting for our plumber to sort us out. So we get to soak that. I'm also just putting the toilet cleaner so that it can start removing the stubborn stains and then just covering the toilet. So the next thing after wetting the surfaces is we are going to thorough clean these basins that we use in the bathroom, because as they use them, they will clean them, but they will usually not be thoroughly cleaned. They get dirty, so we usually will use a scoring agent and something really like super bright to help us, a scoring pad to help us clean them, all of them thoroughly. The second tip is work with schedules. Sometimes I think children are able to understand chores better and to do them consistently when they know that those chores have been scheduled into their program. So let's see what you have done. You are doing together. Yeah, so you see that one is clean. Your soap dish, your pink girls clean. And purple girls. Yeah, and that's the top part of your bucket for mopping, and your basin clean. Yeah. Plus your toothbrush cup clean. Okay. So the next thing we are going to do is, as we come up going down, I will do the opposite of something I do usually. I first thoroughly clean the floor. I brush it really hard because when we start whip up and then rinse the walls, when we are scrubbing the floor, the soap will keep splashing back on the walls. So that's why personally I prefer to first thoroughly clean the floor and then calm down as I clean the walls. So we are going to do the floor, but of course not rinse it and then go to the walls. Mix. So we are mixing some solution there. Usually I will use my liquid soap that I make at home myself. But today, because we just ran out of it, I'm using some Vim in there and some cleaning detergent that we will use to clean the floor. So we will just splash it around the floor and scrub it with a brush. Yeah, so we are going to sprinkle the soapy water, and we will keep sprinkling again because it will keep sliding into the going down the drain. So yeah, that's enough. So let's start scrubbing the floor. Don't get uncomfortable repeating something. Repeating is what will make a skill and concept get home. So for this to happen, repetition will just have to be the name of the game. Now we get to clean the walls. Plus wiping those surfaces like around the window and on that shelf up there. Yes. So I'm cleaning the tile part, especially with this scoring part, because of course, as you see, they can get quite dirty. And we will do a section probably like from here. I like to count like up to 5 tiles. When we are done with that, all the way to the floor, and then we rinse with water, because what happens is that the soap will keep drying on the wall as we clean. So usually I will rinse and then now go to the next section. So let's continue. Tip number 4, get prepared to train for the long haul. Like I said, children will not necessarily get a skill or concept because you've done it once or twice or maybe thrice. You'll keep having to do it until they get it. So just get prepared, and the benefits will far outweigh the time that you spent doing that. Clean. Tip number 5, lead by example. It has been said that leadership by example is not one of the ways of leading, but it is the only way of leading. After this, I'll go to clean my space, and they are confident to take what I'm saying seriously because I have been doing it. So don't tell them something or train them something that you're not already doing. Make time to work with them in what you're training them to do. Ever since I began doing this once a month with them, children look forward to this, and you have the added advantage of bonding with them. My children actually enjoy this working together, and they are the ones who remind me, not even just cleaning the bathroom, but any activity that we do together. I've cleaned one side of the door while she did the other one. Now she gets to clean the toilet as I supervise. I also will do it as I show her exactly what I mean, because remember, it's training. And then after that, I will also clean the toilet brush and the toilet brush container. Of course, we are using disinfectant so that we are confident to clean some of these things. To clean the handle as well. I didn't show you. Yeah, but I just like this thing being clean. That's why even when I use it, I tell the children also, when they use the toilet, flush before you use this, because you don't want it to get messy. I get to demonstrate scrubbing the toilet, and starting from up, of course, going down, and then she will get to rinse it by wiping it off using the same principle of up going down. So then you go under, and remember, if the dirt is too tough, you can use scoring, the scoring part to remove it. Then you rinse. So again, when rinsing, now it's my girl doing it. So again, it's from up to down. So that one. So we go now to this part. That's it. Again, from up to down until we finish wiping it dry, right?
Yes.
Okay, you keep going up and down, up and down. I say from up. So start here as you go down, okay? Yeah, and if by any chance your rag needs any rinsing out, you go rinse out, then come back.
Right. I am just coming back.
Finish with
Down here.
Under, right?
Yep.
Okay. I get to demonstrate cleaning the sink with our younger daughter, because the toilet, of course, by and by, she will also learn as well. Let's get to tip number 7. Improvise as much as possible, because sometimes thorough cleaning looks like we need to get the most expensive things. You saw us improvise with a wet mop to remove our cobwebs, improvise with old clothes to get rags to clean, different kinds of things. Just improvise so that you make your process as affordable as you possibly can. The sink is done, so we finish off by mopping the floor as our last activity for the bathroom, and then they also clean their mats outside. Of course, part of this thorough cleaning involves also cleaning their room, removing the used linen, and also just working on their room. We've already talked about what they should focus on, whether it's the window sills, all that, the curtain boxes. Meanwhile, I go to clean my space as they do this. Tip number 8, don't focus on perfection. But I can tell you, every time you come to clean, they actually get better at this.
Yeah, so guys, we have finished with the bathroom, and now we are working on the bedroom just as you saw. Yeah, so we're trying to do fast.
Tip number 9, find ways of saving money. Like I mentioned, I make my own all-purpose soap at home, and I am looking for ways of also seeing if I can work on a toilet cleaner, I can work on a disinfectant, rather than using so much money to do so. So just focus on ways of doing this so that it doesn't look like you're spending too much money on this. Working on their room gave time for the bathroom to dry, so they are now just hanging the things back into the bathroom and just returning things where they should be. Tip number 10, trust God to have fun and enjoy the process, because this is really what we ought to do. The Bible tells us, train up a child in the way they should go, so that when they're old, they will not depart from it. When you do, you can be sure your children will triple that fun. Yes, so that's all I had for today. If there is another reason that I may have forgotten or that you feel is useful, please share in the comments so that we can also be blessed together as we reflect on that. I appreciate your time, the time you've taken to watch this, and I pray that it is a blessing. Please check out this playlist where I have compiled other videos on homeschooling that I pray will be a blessing to you on your journey, or for you who just wants to know about homeschooling. And you can watch them as you wait for our next video. Again, another delightful one that I pray will be a blessing as well. And until that next video, bye.